What is going on, everybody? I am Mike. Welcome back to Tech 24/7 TV. Now, this video is probably one of my most requested videos of 2020, and that's for good reason. Now, that's because keyboards are my jam. Now, a lot of YouTube reviewers are singing the praises of this newest keyboard case and integrated trackpad to come out for the 11-inch iPad Pro. Now, I assume that you're watching here because maybe you're like me and you want an exceptional typing experience for your 11-inch iPad Pro. Now, the Logitech Folio Touch comes across as squarely fitting that bill. It offers a great typing experience along with an integrated trackpad, and the Folio Touch feels like a steal when you compare it to the price against Apple's own Magic Keyboard. Well, you are in the right place because in today's video, I am reviewing the Logitech Folio Touch for the 11-inch iPad Pro, and I'm going to tell you why you should buy it, but also why it's not right for everyone, even if it costs half the price of the Magic Keyboard. Let's get started. Welcome back to Tech 24/7 TV, where we bring you the best in unboxing and product reviews so you can make informed buying decisions. So if you like product review videos just like this one right now, make sure you are subscribed with notifications because I have a whole bunch of iOS 14, iPadOS 14, and watchOS 7 content planned. The video is broken down into different sections, and you can find the timestamps of the various parts right below that like button. The timestamps are going to allow you to scrub to the various parts of the video if you so desire, but remember, YouTube really wants you to watch the whole thing, so make sure you do that. Now, for pricing and availability, the Logitech Folio Touch is available for $159, and it can be purchased directly through the App Store or through Logitech's own website. Now, as of this video, it's kind of weird, but the Logitech Folio Touch is only available for the 11-inch iPad Pro. I don't know what they're doing, maybe why they're not including it for the 12.9-inch, so I'm really sorry that anyone who owns the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, you're going to need to look elsewhere. I have a whole bunch of videos on keyboards, and I'll link them right above. Now, I put links down in the video description below in case you want to go and buy that product, and I'll add more stores other than Apple and the Logitech store as the product becomes available elsewhere. Much like other Logitech products, the packaging is very minimal, and it only includes the keyboard itself and the owner's manual. Getting started with the Logitech Folio only takes a few seconds. You don't need to worry about that clumsy Bluetooth pairing because your iPad Pro and the Folio Touch is going to use a smart dock connector for pairing and power anytime that you need it. Now, this means as long as your iPad has a charge, really, right, the Logitech Folio Touch remains usable. As soon as I installed my iPad inside of the case, I got a prompt to download the Logitech Keyboard app, which really is going to update the functionality and the features of the software to improve its quality. Now, I've gotten two upgrades or two software updates over the past 6 weeks. That's how long I've had this keyboard. And I say that the quality of the keyboard has improved, and it's working well since kind of the very first launch of it. I get quickly accustomed to typing on a keyboard really about after 15-20 minutes, and that rings true here as well. Now, what Logitech is doing here in the Folio Touch, they're using scissor switch keys that allow for 1mm key travel. Now, this is really a measurement of how far the key travels before the keystroke is being recognized by the operating system. You're going to get 18mm of key pitch, which is going to be the center-to-center distance between keys. Now, you probably didn't know that there's an entire science around keyboard design, but knowing's half the battle. Now, all the thoughtfulness and design is going to give way to a typing experience that is close to, if not the same as the Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro, as well as the experience that you get on the newest MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air. Now, the whole case is wrapped in a gray woven fabric, and it's generally pleasing, though I'm sure some people won't like the look and feel of it. The case is beefy, but it does give the iPad Pro all the drop protection that you could want. Now, the drop protection is not something that necessarily appeals to me, right, I imagine like you, I'm locked in a house, I can't go anywhere, but I'm sure that it is going to go ahead and come in use or be of good use once the pandemic is over. Hopefully it's sometime soon. The keyboard is backlit and it can be adjusted 16 levels, but I would consider these more along the line of micro adjustments in the brightness and not significant changes. Now, a nice touch is the backlight is going to turn off whenever you flip the keyboard case behind the iPad and vice versa. Now, you probably know this, that my jam, well, other than keyboards, right, but it's going to be iOS function keys. And now the row of iOS function keys at the very top allow you to go ahead and pull up the on-screen keyboard, lock your iPad, amongst a bunch of other features that are really standard on keyboards with iOS function keys. The trackpad experience on the Logitech Folio Touch is nearly identical to what you would get on the Magic Keyboard. Both trackpads are made from what appears to be the same glass material, and they're the same size and shape, though there is one significant difference, and that's going to be the functionality. Most modern trackpads are going to be completely clickable anywhere on the surface. This is going to allow you to click anywhere, right, to elicit a system response to your action. Now, much like other third-party trackpads, the Logitech Folio Touch cannot be pressed up at the very top here, and this isn't really a constraint that exists on the Magic Keyboard. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is he even going about this? This is a good question, and I'm going to get to my point. It effectively reduces the trackpad usable surface area. So you can see here, when I'm using my finger to navigate Safari on the web, as soon as I hit this top portion, the system appears to lose track of my finger. You can see the same behavior when you swipe right to left on the top portion of that trackpad. So if you have large hands or you frequently perform multi-touch functions on your trackpad, something you might want to consider, right? Not everyone is going to have large hands. I don't have large hands, but again, this is going to be something for you to consider if you are in that situation. Now, you can particularly work around this limitation by enabling double tap to click in the trackpad settings. Other than that, the trackpad on the Logitech Folio Touch supports all the standard gestures that work in iPad OS and includes the multi-touch gestures that work on the Magic Keyboard. You're going to find that the keyboard and trackpad is going to be smooth and responsive to the touch, both literally and figuratively. Bad joke. The Logitech Folio Touch is usable in really one of 4 modes. The standard keyboard mode is where you're going to find yourself needing to reply to emails using the keyboard and the trackpad. You might find yourself sitting back and consuming content in that view mode, maybe drafting out some mockups in Affinity Designer and sketch mode, and finally read mode, which makes sense. The Folio Touch allows for viewing angles from 20 to 60 degrees. Now, in case you missed it the first time, the keyboard automatically turns off when you flip that keyboard around, making it inoperable. So you don't have to worry about accidental key presses, which could be a pain. The Apple Pencil is going to be securely attached to your iPad Pro thanks to the latch here at the top, which also is going to double as a way to keep your iPad Pro closed when you need to carry it around, from room to room. The magnet's going to be very powerful, and it even works if you want to go ahead and use the Logitech crayon, which is probably one of the better deals that you can go ahead and use for your iPad Pro. At the end of the day, the Logitech Folio Touch really comes across as an easy recommendation for people who have an 11-inch iPad Pro that are looking for a good typing experience. It's incredibly versatile. It works in multiple contexts, including a few more that the Magic Keyboard doesn't support. It offers a really good typing and trackpad experience at a reasonable price, so if you need a keyboard for your 11-inch iPad Pro, I would go ahead and pick up one right away. For me, there are 3 key places that the Logitech Folio Touch misses the mark, making it less than ideal for my use cases. My use cases aren't necessarily complex, I'm not writing code or anything like that, and these faults, as I would like to think of them, might not infringe on your work style as they do mine. First, I'm the type of iPad user who is always switching contexts. Now, I'm reading emails in one moment, and the next moment I'm using my iPad to create room dimensions using the Measure app. Now, to me, the size and weight of the iPad compared to that of the Magic Keyboard really kind of repel me away from it. I don't want to pick it up. It feels just too heavy. And debatably, it's not necessarily that heavy, but it's heavy to me. Even if I can get over this thick with 2Cs protection found on the Logitech Folio Touch, my workflow has limitations when using it. I want to pick my iPad up from the Magic Keyboard. I want to put it down when I'm back. Even if that use case, I lose access to the second pass-through USB-C charging port that's going to be found on the back of the Magic Keyboard. So if you're someone who likes to go maybe leave your keyboard on your desk and charge it, you don't need to worry about taking your iPad Pro out of that keyboard case like you do with the Logitech keyboard. Now, most importantly, there's just a little bit too much bounce inside of the keyboard when you're typing and you have the keyboard on your knees. You can see that when you're typing on it, your wrists tend to push down on that wrist rest, and it creates bounce inside of the experience. So depending on how you type, if you're someone who's used to typing on a clickety-clack keyboard, pounding away, it might not be great for you. You want to go ahead and test that out. Now, I'm a massive fan of the iOS function keys. I do think it offers a great typing experience. There is that laser precise trackpad support. There's no need to charge it. It does have backlit keys. There are software updates via the iPad app, and you're going to be able to secure your Apple Pencil. Now, the charge and sing for the Apple Pencil, which is great. Now, the reason why it's not for me is I'm losing access to that second USB-C pass-through charging port on the back of the Magic Keyboard. Bulk, and you cannot easily remove the iPad Pro from the case for one-handed use. Additionally, and this is going to be nitpicky, looking for something more compact, the Logitech Folio Touch does take up a larger surface area compared to that of the Magic Keyboard. Now, for twice the cost, maybe all those things are not a big deal to you, but for me, I depend on my iPad. I use it all the time, and if I'm working, I don't want to be hindered by these limitations or these restrictions on the keyboard. All that said, again, I think this is a great keyboard case for a majority of people on there. For $160, I don't think you really can go wrong, but if you have those kind of same quirks, maybe is a way of thinking about it, with your workflow, I would definitely check it out and take advantage of that return policy because that's why it's offered. Now, I am Mike. I have a lot of other content planned for iOS 14, iPadOS 14, and watchOS 7, so make sure you are subscribed with notifications, and I will talk to you in the next one. Whew. You will find links to both. Hey dog. Every time you record, there's a dog barking. What is going on? I don't even own a dog. Including multi-track.